is Zia and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video reading the Clockwork Chronicles. Well, we're going to be inside the Clockwork Chronicles universe, exploring what goes on. And yeah, it's Clockwork Chronicles and not Hermitcraft because, well, this is mainly focused on one specific character. It's not a Hermitcraft member. So yeah, I just decided I wanted to do this because, well, technically this character hasn't had their own full-on perspective story ever, so except for the short stories, but like those technically don't count because they don't have their like chapters and length and but yeah, this is a story. This story is a continuation of Hermitcraft Retribution after that, and it is a spin-off series to Clockwork Chronicles World, which is based on Hermitcraft. It's not canon to anything related to the series. It's just me having some fun. Because obviously some things are different. Some things didn't happen. Like the King arc didn't happen because they gave up on the mayor ideas. Why would they try the King idea? I don't know. You could say that all of this chaos is happening. It's sort of like a subject. But not really. People are just everywhere. But yeah, let's get right into it. Chapter 1. Liam awoke with a start, snapping open his piercing blue eyes, managing to stifle back a gasp of horror as the nightmarish images in his mind faded away to the ceiling above him. Ceiling and the walls glowed white as snow. It was snow. How snow hadn't melted? Even with the torches attached to the wall was something a 16-year-old boy would never understand. Liam blinked back tears as he heard the soft crackle of flames and the rustling of paper. He knew where he was. Stampy's lovely world. A place where his friend Stampy Cat resided with Squishy and the other helpers. Liam Beaver, Polly Reindeer, and Fizzy Elephant. He'd been staying here for at least a few days, although he'd been hidden somewhere in this world, tormented by Campbell and Stuart for answers, many of which he did not have. Stuart had wanted to get everything he could out of the boy, forcing him to see his memories of pain, of the attacks on villages, on towns, homes burning, people screaming, children sobbing as they were taken from their families. Stuart had been there, and he wouldn't stop showing the boy until he'd given him everything. Liam shuddered, remembering the man leaning against the wall beside Theodore Campbell, wearing a headband that controlled the one the man had stepped on him, glowing neon green. Liam wasn't sure if he'd ever get the humming vibrations out of his mind now. Did you have another nightmare? A voice asked to his left. Liam tried not to jump as he slowly turned his head, seeing his older brother, Sam, sitting up in bed with a navy blue book on his lap. Liam groaned as he cautiously sat up, rubbing the sleepers from his eyes and brushing against the bandages on his face. Yeah, Liam sighed, shaking his head. Showed me horrible things. Terrible memories. Sam frowned, gazing at his brother intently. Do you want to talk about it? Liam hesitated, looking down at his red blanket, seeing his bandaged right arm. He could still see a few faint burn marks where Julius had cut him. Stuart had wanted the young man to give him a little more motivation, forcing Jem to watch the ordeal. Lump formed in his throat. At least she's okay. I know it's hard to talk about this kind of stuff, Sam said gently, placing a bookmark to save a spot in the book as he set it aside on the nightstand, right next to his communicator. Sam got up. Crossing the room to stand by his brother's bed. But you shouldn't have to do this alone. I want to help you. Can you take these nightmares away? Liam asked weakly, giving his brother a shy smile. I wish. Sam put a hand on his brother's uninjured shoulder. Can I take the bandages off and see how you're healing? It won't hurt, right? Liam asked cautiously. It's not so bad. Sam chuckled, ruffling his younger brother's bright red curls. I just want to know how well the reach-in is working. Sure feels like it is, Liam replied, nodding as he offered his right arm to his brother. Sam gingerly picked at the bandage, peeling it off the boy's pale white arm, which had bright red burn scars stretching down his forearm. That looks good, Sam said gently, touching the scars, looking over his brother to see his reaction. When he noticed Liam hadn't flinched, he stood. Do you want to get one on your cheek, or do you want me to do it? I got it, Liam sighed, reaching up with his right arm, wincing as he rubbed against the burns, gently peeling off the bandage on his face. Sam took the bandage from Liam's hand, heading over to the kitchen to throw it away. Are you hungry? I can grab something real quick if you're up for it. Sam poked his head out into the room a moment later. Sure, I'd like something. Liam nodded gratefully, seeing his brother disappear again. Pushing the covers back, placing his feet on the blue carpet. Sam came back carrying a plate of chicken a moment later. Liam took the plate eagerly. So, what did I miss over the last few days? Sam hesitated, taking a seat next to his brother. Liam picked up the chicken leg and bit into the warm meat. The hermits left today. Already? When did they leave? Liam's eyes widened. He looked down at the chicken leg in his hand. An hour ago, Sam replied calmly. Matthias wanted to get them back to their world as soon as possible. Stampy's base isn't safe for them. Liam nodded. Did they make it back okay? Cody dropped them off at the portal to meet Carl and new recruits. Sam smiled hopefully. Aiden and Aaron are here too. They were hoping to see you awake, but I told them you needed time to recover. They're here? Liam looked up at his brother, surprised. You remember meeting the two teens a few months ago, after their town had been attacked, and they'd been forced to leave. He trained them alongside many other students before they moved into the professional levels. Yeah, Tom sent them over to help us out, Sam nodded excitedly. I wanted to give them some time to settle, seeing as Stampy isn't far today. Where is he anyway? Liam smiled. I haven't seen him in a bit. Oh, he stopped by last night to chat, Sam shrugged, gesturing to the couch. He wanted to give me a chance to rest in case you had another nightmare. That was nice of him, Liam replied, looking over at the door. Do you know if the hermits made it back safely? I assume so, otherwise I would have gotten a distress call or something, Sam replied, following his brother's gaze. Maybe they wouldn't have called you, Liam pointed out. You have 2 charges to protect after all. 3. Sam nudged his brother as Liam groaned, rubbing his injured shoulder. Sorry, is that hurt? It's okay, just a little sore. Liam smiled meekly. Aiden and Aaron will be a big help. Sam nodded, continuing the conversation. I wish I'd thought of something like this sooner. There's a lot on your mind, Liam said gently, taking another bite of the chicken. Besides, you had the last horrible experience to think about. Right, Sam said sourly. It's funny. The people are so insistent on keeping me safe. They don't consider who I'm protecting. You've done a great job considering, Liam smiled. You haven't lost your charge in several months. I snorted. I guess so, if you don't count the rescue mission. Everyone did get out okay, right? Liam frowned, furrowing his brow. Everyone made it out, apart from Julius's dad. Sam lowered his head. He got blasted outside of the force field radius. Oh, Liam swallowed, seeing his brother staring down at his feet. Julius couldn't have been happy about that. No, Sam snickered half-heartedly. He certainly wasn't. He was sent by Gerbel shortly after to attack Tango. What? Liam's eyes widened. It's been a long few days. Sam sighed sheepishly. Long story short, He was haunted by Skiz's ghost, trying to warn him that his mother was in danger and made him feel guilty enough that he betrayed Campbell and Stewart. That... Really? Liam tilted his head thoughtfully. Skiz's ghost. Snappy saw Skiz's ghost at that one time. At least that's what he keeps telling me. Sam chuckled. Last I heard, the kid ran off to find his mom. Oh. Liam looked down at the carpet, setting aside an empty plate. No one tried to stop him. Why would we? Sam met his brother's gaze. If she's out there somewhere, he deserves to find her. I hope he does, Liam said quietly, even though he gestured to his injured arm with his head. He was only following orders, Sam said calmly. Green seemed sure he regretted what he did. Wait, Green was here? Liam looked up at his brother. Sam laughed. Like I said, it's a long story. The past few days have been interesting, the older brother replied. I'll say. Liam shook his head. He was worried about you. Green, I mean, Sam said softly after a moment. He wanted to help look for you, but ended up getting kidnapped by Stewart. The base was also attacked in an attempt to capture the hermits before they could return home. Jem, Scar, and Tango were able to get them out of trouble, though. Hey. Liam swallowed back the words, shaking his head. How did so much happen so quickly? Campbell wants to make a statement, and he felt that Green knew where Nettie and the others were, Sam said calmly. He didn't, of course, but Campbell didn't know that at the time. Does he now? Liam raised an eyebrow. He does, Sam nodded. Julius saved both Green and Beat-Ups that day. They were able to stop them, but the two men got away. Liam shuddered again. No one was hurt. Not badly, fortunately. Sam smiled encouragingly. But Matthias has a point wanting to move them back. Jem's base is secure and safe. It is. I've seen it. Liam nodded confidently. Both made sure of it. Sam giggled. I might have to hit him up with some invisibility detectors to put around this base. I'm sure it's not hard to do. We have instructions at the school. Liam brushed him off with a smirk, looking over at the door when he heard his footsteps. Sam followed his gaze as the doorknob turned. The door opened, and a girl with light brown curls and piercing blue eyes peeked into the room. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Liam. She smiled, gently at the boy. Cody asked me to get you two. Someone wants to see you. Who? Sam frowned, looking between his brother and the girl. Carl, Aaron said simply, pushing the door open the rest of the way. Carl. Liam frowned, seeing his brother rise to his feet. Think you're up for walking? Sam offered a hand to his brother. Better now than never. Liam took his brother's hand, groaning as he got to his feet. Sam steadied him, helping him toward the door. What did he want to see us for? Erin shook her head, stepping out into the hall. You'll have to wait and see. How mysterious, Sam smirked, leading his brother down the hall. Liam looked up, seeing two men walking in from the storage room, quietly arguing with one another before they stopped at the sight of the boys. One of the men smiled, giving the boys a wave. There you are. Why don't you have a seat? Chapter 2. Liam let his brother guide him to a bed as the two men waited for them. The men were wearing the cause's camouflage uniforms, wearing badges that hinted at a superior rank. Liam knew these men. They helped Tony at the school while gathering or looking for recruits, or protecting the children. I didn't expect to see you two here, Liam said with a smile. I suppose you didn't, one of the men replied. We both had last-minute assignments. He glared over at the other men. Hey, don't look at me like that, Cody. I have a good reason for being here. The other man raised his hand defensively. Besides, Matthias insisted things would be fine. Then why didn't you report back to Tony? Cody said firmly. I had other important matters to attend to, the man replied simply. Reaching into his pocket, and he pulled something out. A small white envelope resting in the man's hand. Brian wanted to give this to you, but you weren't around, so he asked me to take it to the boys. It's gone because I was doing my job. Cody crossed his arms. Hold on, what's going on? Sam asked quickly, taking a seat on the bed beside his brother. Carl here was tasked to take 3 interns to the hermit base for additional protection. Cody said simply, protection? But they practically have an army there, Liam replied. There's a lot of hermits, not a lot of protectors, Cody stated. Caden informed Tom of the concern for his charge, who requested this for both here and the hermit base. I was doing my job. I'll have you know. Carl shook his head, offering the letter to the boys. I send my condolences about what happened. What? Liam asked, confused, as Sam nodded, taking the letter from the man's head. What do you mean? Carl frowned, looking up over at the older boy. You haven't told him? I'm going to. It's just a lot to get through. Sam admitted, not looking at the man, pocketing the envelope. What are you going to tell me? Liam demanded, looking over at his brother. Sam winced. Campbell sent a bunch of his men to attack our home. What? Liam nearly fell out of the bed, turning to face his brother. What happened? How? Is everyone... Tears filled his brother's deep blue eyes. He shook his head. Levi found the town utterly destroyed. He doesn't believe Campbell took any survivors. No. Liam whispered, putting a hand to his mouth, tears stinging his eyes. No. There can't be. I'm sorry. Sam shook his head. I'm so sorry. None of this is any bit your fault, Cody said firmly, his eyes focused on the boy. You know Campbell would have attacked the town eventually. But the people... Liam whispered again. Innocent people. Our friends. Liam buried his head in his hands as he felt arms wrap around him. He felt the stinging tears fall down his face as he leaned into the embrace, not wanting to let go. Do you need a moment? Carl asked, concerned as Liam looked up with bleary eyes, seeing them and watching them. No, Liam finally said, sniffing as he pulled away from his brother. I'll be fine. Just a lot to take in. We know. Cody nodded sympathetically. Wish you both didn't have to go through the same fate as so many others do. But Dad and Connor could still be alive? Sam asked hopefully. Brian's grandparents? Foster parents? Oh, Liam groaned as he groaned in his hands, lowering them to his lap. I doubt it. Look. Let me try that again. I doubt it. With Campbell's latest attacks. Cody shook his head. Levi and Rose are doing what they can to find answers. Both boys nodded as Liam swallowed, looking up at the 2 men sitting across from them. Tears still fell down his cheeks, flashes of nightmarish images filling his mind. Had Stuart been there? Had he been the one too? Is there another reason why you came here, Carl? Sam asked, speaking up after a long pause. I just wanted to see how things are going. The man replied, I see you 2 interns settled well. He gestured behind the boys. Liam turned, glancing over his shoulder to see Aiden and Aaron. What is with me with rhyming names? And the 4 names flat. What is with me? Watching from the hallway. Come on in, you 2. We won't bite. The young teens slipped into the room, Aiden pulling up a couple of chairs as the 2 of them sat down. I thought we'd see Stampy by now. Cody laughed. Sure he's not far, Aiden. He's pretty close. He's building an escape room near Polly's house. Sam pointed toward the cat's bedroom. Fiddy came back half an hour ago, I believe. He did. He told me they'd finished building the exterior earlier than expected. William, Polly, and Squishy stayed to keep an eye on things while Stampy got working on the interior. Cody confirmed with a nod. Can we meet him? Aaron asked hopefully. Probably would be best, Carl nodded, rising to his feet, meeting the older boy's eyes. After all, you are supposed to be their protector, Sam. Sam blushed. Stampy told me I could have a few days off to be with my brother. Still, it is your responsibility, the man replied. Yes, sir, Sam nodded. William and Squishy are good helpers too, though. I'm sure they are, Cody stated, getting to his feet as well, grabbing the Carl by the arm. Nightfall will be coming back soon. You should call them back. I can do it, Sam gestured back toward the hall. My communicator's in the living room, though. Carl shook his head. not saying a word as the boy got to his feet, dashing toward the living room. He usually has it on him at all times, Liam assured the man. He's just been getting calls from that guy I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Hey, well, Carl nodded, looking up at the sound of footsteps as Sam returned. They'll be here in 5 minutes. Deputy's wrapping up. Sam grinned, looking over at the interns. You two came at a good time. A great time. I hear this escape room will be fun. I've never been in an escape room. Aiden's brown eyes widened with wonder. You will soon, Erin teased him with a playful nudge, leaping to her feet. Are you two staying for the night? We should be getting back to school. Cody frowned, shaking his head. Tom will want to throw a report. Are you sure they'll be safe here, though? Carl furrowed his brow, looking over at the 2 boys. Water elevator seems to be a bit of a safety hazard. We're working on it, a voice said from behind the man, causing him to jump a little as he turned. Stumpy walked into the storage room with Squishy just behind him. We've been trying to work on some sort of underwater sensor. All right. Carl nodded toward the feline, looking him up and down. It's good to finally meet you, Stumpy Cat. I'm Carl. I work at the school with Donnie and Liam. Stumpy grinned, holding out a paw for the man to shake. Carl obliged. Happy to meet you too, Carl. We need to get going, Tom. Excuse me. We need to be going. Tom will be expecting us, Cody said calmly, dragging Carl away from the cat. Sorry for the inconvenience. Oh, no, you're fine. Stumpy waved the man off with a laugh. It's been a wild 3 days for everyone. Indeed it has, Cody nodded, pushing Carl into the storage room before the man could argue. Let us know if anything comes up. Good night. Thanks for bringing us here, Cody, Erin called out, giving the man a wave. Cody nodded at the girl before disappearing with Carl. What was that? What was the rush? Squish mused, shaking their head. Cody likes to stick to his schedule, Aiden replied. He was pushing it when he decided to stay to wait for you guys to be done. Oh, he didn't have to do that, Stumpy chuckled. He looked over at the 2 boys by the bed. It's good to see you awake, Liam. How are you feeling? As good as I can be after being tortured and hearing my home was destroyed, Liam said honestly. Stumpy nodded solemnly. I'm always here if you want to talk about it, okay? Thanks, Stumpy. Liam smiled at his friend, stumbling to his feet. So what's for tomorrow? I have to work on the escape room yet. William agreed to stay by the door to ensure that there were no surprise visitors tomorrow. The cat shrugged. We haven't seen anything odd yet. They can easily hide from view with invisibility protections, Sam pointed out. The Dark and Viva did that before, remember? Oh yes, how could I forget? The cat smiled. You 4 should probably get to bed. If I'm done early, we can show Aiden and Erin around. Awesome! Aiden pumped his head. What? Aiden pumped his fist in the air with excitement. Oi, Chihuahua. Can we play some of the games too? Of course, Stumpy laughed. The cow walked over to his bedroom. Barnaby's only at his heels, and the dog's tail wagged eagerly. See you all in the morning. Everyone wished each other a good night, and the cat disappeared into his room, Squishy climbing up the stairs to the guest room. Sam helped Liam toward the living room as Aiden took a bed against Stumpy's bedroom wall. Protocol! Aiden waved at the older boys as Sam laughed. Sam waved back as Liam leaned into his brother, seeing Erin disappear down the hall into the room for the interns. Once the boys made it to Liam's bed, the younger boy sat down. So what does the letter say? Liam asked hopefully, looking up at his brother. Sam smiled, pulling out the letter and unfolding the envelope. You should get some sleep. You need it. I want to know what Brian had to say, Liam insisted. Get comfy. I'll read it to you before bed. Sam chuckled, kneeling beside him. He smoothed a piece of paper, reading it over. You ever wonder if Mom ever read us any bedtime stories like Dad used to do? Liam asked softly. Sam glanced over at his brother, a sad look in his eyes. I'm sure she did. Are you ready to listen now? Yes, please. Liam nodded, hearing his brother speaking, wanting more than anything for the letter to last forever. That way he wouldn't have to go back to sleep. so he wouldn't face the nightmares. He knew it wouldn't last forever, as Sam spoke of memories of the three of them shared, of hanging out with Brian at his grandparents' place. Sam told of how he helped Brian move into his foster family's home before they'd been attacked, forcing Sam and Brian to go to the school for safety. He told of lessons Stacy and Lizzie had shared with their friend, how he'd been there if they ever needed him. He lost so much, Liam said quietly. His parents at a young age, his grandparents, now his foster parents. It's not fair. It's not. Sam agreed, putting his letter aside. He knew the risks when he came to school. I made sure to tell him everything. Do you think anywhere is safe for us? Liam sniffed as Sam ruffled his bright red curls. Of course, Sam said gently. We're safe here. And soon you'll be helping kids again at school in no time. Liam shook his head sadly. I don't know, Sam. Camp but wants something from us, and we'll do whatever it takes to get it. I'm not gonna let him hurt you again. Sam got to his feet. Defiance. I don't want him to hurt you either. A lump formed in Liam's throat. You're my hero. Sam laughed, heading toward his bed. Well, even heroes need to get some sleep. Good night, Liam. Night. Liam yawned, watching his brother crawl into bed, pulling the covers over him. Liam felt his eyes grow heavy, momentarily resisting sleep, before it finally overtook him. Well, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. We read chapter 1 and chapter 2. Yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.